Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make beats for 2Hollis and Nate Sib. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to show you 4 different styles. First off, I want to show you something like Too Bad by 2Hollis. Then I'm going to show you something like Famous by Nate Sib. And then I'm going to show you how to make something like Tell Me and Nice by 2Hollis off his new album Star. In this video, I'm only using sounds from my new Star drum kit that I just dropped. These are all sounds made specifically for these beats, so like 2Hollis, Nate Sib, and like this electro pop kind of sounds, but also like more rap oriented like Ken Carson trap stuff. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to start off with the chords, and this is what they sound like. So I routed these chords all to the same track, which sidechains everything, just ducks it down. That's that pumping effect. So these presets are pretty simple. It's just many detuned saw waves. So here's the preset I made. You can copy it if you like. These are the effects, and then I have some OTT on there. So that's what this one sounds like. So this one's more for like that fat low mids, and then the second one is this one. It has even more detune, and yeah, also pretty basic. Together they sound like this, just filling it out. And it was pretty loud, but I like that sound. Like, it sounds really compressed in 2Hollis' song as well, so I just put a soft clipper on it. So for these chords, I'm going 4 5 6 5 6, and then I'm going the 1 to the 3, and then back into I mean, that kind of loops. There's not really any rules to this. I just I'm building it throughout, like these little chops, and then you keep adding more notes, and then eventually the sustained one is what's like sounds the fullest, so it has the most notes. And here's some stutters. Moving on to the bass, here's the preset I made for this. I'm using Serum 2. I'm kind of switching back and forth between them, just out of habit. I sometimes still open Serum 1. But here's the preset. It's pretty basic as well. Here's some of the effects. It looks different, of course, but yeah, I'm just following the root notes pretty much, also following the same rhythm. Then I have this kick from my drum kit, just a 4 on the floor. Punch on the 2 and the 4. Together they sound like this. This is what the full thing sounds like. Then later on, I'm adding this hi-hat thing. Just, yeah, pretty simple. So then I'm just doing some variation for the arrangement. Here I'm taking the kick out. Then for this section, we have a low pass and kind of letting the highs in slowly, kind of build into the next drop. You get the idea. He does a triple kick at the start to kind of create variation throughout the song. And then I have this really cool lead. I think it sounds pretty cool. This is what it sounds like. So as you can see, it's a really basic beat, but it sounds really full, and that's just because of the sound design. These super saws, they're very fat, bass complementing it, and then you just, all you need is a kick and a clap, basically. First, I use this loop that Drax sent me. He's a great producer. He's my go-to when I'm making this style of beats and I'm not making it from scratch. So here's what it sounds like. Here are some of the drums. I use this snare together with this hi-hat. In Famous, there's just a 16th note hi-hat all throughout, but I wanted to give it like a little bit of a different vibe, so I have that 16th note somewhere in there sometimes, but not the whole time. And then I also have some accent drums, some snares and stuff. And then the main thing that, of course, kind of gives it that fat sound is this bass. Sounds like this. So in context, we got this. Here I added a little bass. not too special. And then I added this lead kind of sound. So the original producer of Famous is Kim J, and I know he likes to use Hive, so we're just looking through some sounds there, and I came up with this melody. So altogether, that sounds like this. So that's pretty much it for this beat. It's pretty simple drums wise. For the melody, what he did in the original is also pretty simple.
Yeah. It must be very dangerous.
It's like some plucky melody and just pretty chill vibes on the melody, and then just a pretty fat bass and very fast hi-hats, which already is enough to kind of fill it out and keep the energy up. So then moving on to Tell Me, I want to go through this one a little bit faster because I have a lot of parts that it's kind of progressing throughout the track. So I don't want to spend too much time on each and every part. I'm just going to go through every part and show you what I did. So for the first part, as you hear in the original, it has this like dunk kind of bass. So I got one of these basses. So what this automation clip right here does is it takes this waveform from a sine wave to a square, which makes it sound, gives it a different character. So that's what it sounds like. What 2Hollis and Kim J like to do is instead of using a kick at some parts, they use a clap to go on the 4 on the floor beat. So I'm using this clap right here. So that's kind of the chill starting intro, and then I'm bringing in this fat bass layer on top of it. I'm transitioning it with this part right here. Then I have this little vocal riser thing. This war horn, and then what I'm doing is keeping it all on one note. I have this pad sound layer on top of it and a couple of drums, and then for this part some more effects like white noise and stuff, nothing too crazy. But then I'm taking this pattern and I'm going up, so I'm going up from the 1 to the 3, but I'm using all the notes in between. So also this note that's not in key, but it still sounds good as a transition note. So I'm going 1 3 2, which is kind of a weird sounding chord progression, but I think in this context it sounds very nice. So that's what this sounds like. And then I have this, which is also something 2Hollis does in his song. Just only hi-hats and open hats, kind of just, we have this fat bass coming in right here, which I'll show you the sound design. So this is the first one, this is the main one. These are the effects. Then I have this one, which uses this wavetable, which I don't really know how to explain it. It makes it sound more crunchy, you know? Together they sound like this. And they also follow the same chord progression that I just showed you before. I'm also bringing in another hi-hat here, just with some open hats, keeping that same rhythm. I added some jungle sounds, I don't know why. Then I'm using a bit crush here, bringing that in and then picking the rate and automating it down, which gives you a really cool effect. Then I'm bringing in the drums, so I have this kick right here, together with this little hardstyle kick way in the back. Probably can't even hear it that well, but giving it a bit of top end, just interesting sound. Then I'm bringing in this hi-hat, bit of an interesting rhythm, and this clap. And then lastly, this pad that kind of fills everything out. I think this is from the, this is from the new Serum 2 presets, and then I added it a bit, just adding more noise and distortion, making it sound even filthier. So this is what that sounds like with the transition going into it. Some variation. Added this little vocal pad sound. And then I'm bringing in this pluck. Of course, you gotta have the plucks when you're doing 2Hollis beats. So this is what that sounds like. And then I'm alternating the pattern. And then here at the end, I have this little like pluck roll, I don't know what you want to call it, going up, and the other one's going down, so it gives you like a cool transition effect. I'm cutting out the rest and then bringing in this lead, which is just like kind of filling it out at the outro. So the original actually samples this song by totally enormous extinct dinosaurs called Household Goods. I just made a pluck melody that kind of sounds like it. So I have this little pluck melody right here. This is what the preset looks like. Copy it if you want. And this is what it sounds like. Then mainly the OTT and some reverb and EQ. For the intro, I'm automating it and having these impact sounds, like a Valhalla vintage verb, kind of making it fade in again, like we saw before. And then I also rendered this first note out with a reverb, and then it sounds like this when I reverse it, so it kind of swoops into it. So then I'm bringing in this clap, and then for the drop, all I'm doing is bring this kick in, and the very basic 808. This is what it sounds like. And then to switch it up a bit, I am going back to 2Hollis' roots with like some medieval sounding stuff. I introduced a harp here with the same melody and some strings, and some more strings and more strings. So that's what it sounds like. So then I'm bringing in this little shaker thing. Here I had like a little trap part. Do with that what you will. The same kick, but with a more trappy rhythm. Some hi-hat rolls and stuff. Now it sounds a little more busy because of the hi-hat. And then lastly, I'm bringing in another plucky melody, which sounds like this. It sounds very happy, and it complements the original one very nicely, I think. So it sounds like this. So that's what I wanted to show you for the beats. Now I'm going to show you a bit of the drum kit. So here's some 808s. Then we have some basses. Also have some hardstyle elements like this. And then some claps. I have some drum loops. These are just basic like hi-hat stuff and some perk stuff. Then also added some car stuff because in some of the 2Hollis leaks he likes to put in some car effects. I was like, why not? Hi-hats. Then kicks. This is my go-to kick right now. So if you're interested, you can get it. Link is in the description. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments if you have any. Follow me on Instagram. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.